New mask, same task.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here at CBR. Doomsday is coming! Robert Downey Jr. has taken on the role of Victor Von Doom, better known as Dr. Doom. One of Marvel's most famous villains, and notably sometimes anti-hero, will figure prominently in Avengers Doomsday, due for release in 2026. The decision to cast Robert Downey Jr. as the iconic supervillain has been met with a mix of strong reactions, but either way, Doomsday is inevitable, and we should all be prepared. Before Doomsday comes around, fans have a handful of new MCU films to look forward to. Captain America: Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four: First Steps, and possibly Blade, will be arriving in theaters throughout 2025. More so than any other recent MCU films, the upcoming slate will be crucial in laying the groundwork for the two Doctor Doom Avengers films. Most importantly, the Fantastic Four: First Steps, whether Doctor Doom will appear in it or not, will introduce fans to the MCU version of Marvel's first family. In the comics, Reed Richards and Doctor Doom studied together for a time at Empire State University. While the two characters hail from vastly different backgrounds, they are two sides of the same coin. Unfortunately, Victor's tragic upbringing sealed in him a desire for power and solidified ambitions that set him in stark opposition to Reed and the rest of Marvel's heroes. At least that's the case most of the time. Interestingly, the Fantastic Four: First Steps will be set in the 60s in an alternate timeline. While the story will feature the heroic quartet as already established heroes in their universe, it's possible that Victor Von Doom will make a cameo appearance in the film, even if it's just a slight nod to the character's presence. However, it's also entirely possible that the MCU will try something different. After all, First Steps is an introduction, but not an origin story. The circumstances surrounding Doctor Doom's presence in the MCU remain to be seen, so it's possible that he could be already ruling Latveria by the time First Steps premieres in 2025. Doctor Doom's backstory is one of the most famous in Marvel Comics. As a child in Latveria, young Victor lost his mother and father while living under the rule of a cruel despot. Vowing revenge, Victor found his mother's magical items and devoted himself to the study of sorcery, all the while exhibiting well above average intelligence. Crucial to Doctor Doom's perseverance and enactment of various plots has been his dependence on both magic and science as equally important resources in his quest for dominance. It wouldn't be entirely out of the question for Avengers Doomsday to address details about Doctor Doom's life. It would certainly help to give audiences some understanding of who he is as a character, especially those who rely solely on the film's establishment of lore. However, with only 2 films to develop the rich backstory and dozens of characters who will be fighting for the spotlight, every second counts. The Doomsday lineup won't be known until much closer to release. With many returning characters and even more relatively new players on the scene, like Shang-Chi, who has only had one MCU appearance under his belt thus far, there are many threads that will have to come together in a meaningful way. Look no further than Thanos' snap, which provided an opportunity to pair the Avengers lineup to core members for the first half of Endgame. If a similar approach is taken, highlighting some characters and putting others in more of a supporting part, then not every bit of established MCU history will be essential going into Doomsday. It's very likely that First Steps will, as the name suggests, be the beginning of something new, and everything we need to know will be presented in the immediate build-up to the new Avengers films. Even more importantly, Kang was originally going to be the big bad at the end of the phase, the final opponent to signify the end of the Multiverse saga. Now that the MCU has switched gears this late in the phase, there's not nearly as much time to establish Doctor Doom's place within the overarching story. However, all the multiple universes have been established, which means that they still exist, and it's easy to justify a universe in which Doom already exists. His universe will likely cross over with the MCU's Earth 616, and his plans will center around trying to stop incursions through whatever means he deems necessary. After all, wouldn't someone from another universe, especially a villain, believe theirs to be the one true universe? The death of Doom's mother, Cynthia Von Doom, was the single most formative event for the supervillain. Victor attempted to activate a device that would allow him to speak with the dead, namely his mother. The machine wasn't ready for use, and by turning it on, it set off a massive explosion. Is it possible that the MCU's Doctor Doom has a similar burning interest in crossing the threshold between life and death? And does that mean Earth 616 might present a universe in which Cynthia Von Doom is still alive? Are you looking forward to Doctor Doom's presence in the MCU? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching CBR.